It's something of great importance.
Well, certainly. Honey, go get my wrap.
Colette, I met someone. He wants me to give you a message. Nous serons toujours ensemble.
Always. We will be together. Remember that day, Colette.
I was just serving a customer when he walked in. It was like a miracle. I shooed the customers out and locked up the place and brought Charles to you. You're not listening to me. In fact, you don't even know I'm alive. C'est bon.
Oh, we waited so long.
The last days of the war, I was captured. I've been badly wounded. For months, I knew nothing. Then I found myself back in France wandering about. Colette, all these years, until a month ago, I didn't even know my own name.
But why didn't you wire? Let me know you were alive.
I was afraid. Perhaps you had married again. I had to see George first to find out.
Father.
Ma petite! The baby whom I have never seen now is a young woman.
You are just like your pictures.
A little older, perhaps, but so much happier. And for the three of us, the rest of our lives shall be happiness. I promise you that.
"15 years. Now he returns. Crazy, isn't it?
Wonderful would be a better word.
After all those years, you're still in love with him?
Charlie's my husband. He, Renee, and I can be a family again.
What about me? What happens to me? Do you realize I love you, too?
Never tried to encourage you, Judd.
Well, I'm just supposed to forget the whole thing, huh?
Well, I'm afraid there's no alternative. Good night, Judd.
None for you, perhaps.
What do you mean?
Colette, we made a bargain. I fixed it so your daughter could have the best of everything.
Well, all I have is the furniture, some clothes. I'll sell them. I'll pay you back.
No deal.
That's the best I can do. I'll stay until you get someone else for the show.
The show's not important. Look, baby, you're mine. I got a priority on you. Just because I treat you like you're made of glass, don't get any big ideas. The name is still Judd Harrison.
You mean you would force me to stay?
Maybe I'm just getting a little sentimental. But you got a husband and a daughter. You try to leave me and your whole world will come tumbling down. Oh, just thinking about that ought to make you a little sentimental, too.
So sorry, Charlotte, to be this late.
It's nearly morning.
A nightclub singer does not lead a normal life.
Well, anyway, Renee and I had a good visit. She told me all about you.
Told you what?
About your job, how hard you have worked. Is there more?
I'm afraid we've started off badly. Let's try again.
It's my fault, Colette. But the past few hours seemed like an eternity.
It's been the same with me.
But it gave me a chance to get to know Renee. Oh, you have done a good job. She's everything I had hoped for.
I'm glad.
She has taught me much about America. Hamburgers, French fries, malted milks.
America is a wonderful land, Charlotte. You'll see.
It has been good to you and Renee. That alone makes it wonderful to me. I only hope you won't find too difficult leaving it.
What do you mean?
I have a job waiting for me in Paris. We will have to make arrangements to return.
Return, Charlotte?
You don't seem very enthusiastic. Ma chérie, you both will be happy there, just as happy as you have been in America.
Charlotte, life here has not always been as pleasant as you may think. When we first got here, Georges did the best he could, but his restaurant was small and business was very poor.
Renee told me.
But there are so many things she never knew. Charles, I wanted to give Renee a good life. See that she had everything to make her happy.
And I shall devote the rest of my life to make you happy.
But so much has happened to me.
But so much has happened to the whole world. Only the future is important to us.
Wonderful word, future.
It will be wonderful to us. Now that we have each other, nothing can stand in our way.
Oh, it has been many days since you were here. Did you get so Americanized that you forgot about French cuisine? Huh?
There has been much to do.
Oh, I know. A man has to make many preparations for taking his family back to France.
Who is Judd Harrison?
I believe Colette works for a man by that name.
That was only at the beginning. I have made inquiries.
What has Colette told you?
When I mentioned Judd Harrison's name, it is just the same when I mentioned returning to France. She changes the subject.
I'm sorry. I don't know what I can tell you.
George, lies I can get from home. From old friends, I expect the truth.
Perhaps it is better that you find out from me. All those years you were fighting, and I'm sure that you felt that in some small measure what you were doing was for your family. In a different way, what Colette has done was for the same purpose.
Stupid. I don't want to argue about it anymore.
So this is Mr. Harrison.
Now that we've been properly introduced, I got a suggestion for you, Mr. Marshall. Get out of here. Get out of Colette's life.
Colette's life is my life.
I'm afraid you're in for a big surprise. Don't you think so, honey? All right. But see that he's convinced. Because if you don't, I will.
Charles, I cannot go back to France with you.
I see.
No, you don't. I wish there was some way I could explain.
Georges has already explained. But he neglected to add that it was not just Renee's welfare that kept you here.
You better go.
What about Renee? You can't continue to hide your association with such a man.
I would not stand in your way if you wish to take her back to France with you.
You could not help yourself. Renee all but worships you.
Perhaps if she knew the truth.
It takes more than words to destroy such affection. I know that myself now.
Well, you're home. Colette, still worried about